How can you get your digital transformation started? This is the question businesses that haven't yet embarked on their digital journey are asking themselves. It was also one of the key themes at the Automation Fair last week, Rockwell Automation's annual event we were invited to attend. To give you some tips, we followed John Pritchard from Rockwell on a tour of some of the automation tools you should look at in order to begin or continue your Industry 4.0 transformation. Let's start with robots. If you're in the manufacturing business, maybe you use robots on your production lines. And maybe, in order to save costs, you want to simulate the position of your robot digitally before implementing it in the real world. This tool, which will be available early next year, could be of some interest.
Fanuc, our good friends at Fanuc, the robot company, they have a tool called RoboGuide. And RoboGuide is their digital environment for teaching a robot the moves it's going to make and the sequences it's going to perform. So you teach it, that you have this virtualized teach pendant, and you can teach it positions and then also the sequence that it's going to move. RoboGuide has been around for a while. What's brand new is the guys at Emulate 3D, which is the other piece of software I've got running here, have created API links between their software and between the Fanuc software. So now you can put that robot into a realistic manufacturing environment, and you can now have it interact, for instance, with picking up boxes, placing them on conveyors. There are sensors that the boxes are going through. Those sensors can then trigger logical events which are controlled by one of our controllers. So you can go from just understanding what a single robot's going to do to how a robot or robots are going to behave in the overall manufacturing environment. So we're making all these insights in the digital world rather than getting on site in a real manufacturing facility and making all these mistakes in the real world, which costs more, takes longer, and frankly is just more inconvenient. So once you've done all your discovery in the digital world, you can then just push your program down to the real world. And so you can see here, this is then that same program pushed down to a real robot. And you'll notice that it is, obviously you'd expect it to be, but it's exactly, it's an exact representation of what you're seeing on the screens.
While simulating a robot with the help of digital tools can be quite easy, simulating how humans will interact on a production line can be more difficult. This requires building some parts of the factory digitally, but also physically, to be able to do tests before constructing the whole facility.
What we've done is physically built those pieces so we can then gain better understanding about how the factory is going to work. There are a couple of technologies that we are testing, if you like, and the first one, and this is an interesting hybrid conveyor system. Behind there we have something called MagnaMotion, which is a Rockwell technology, which is a slightly different way to convey products. The MagnaMotion uses magnets and linear motors and is ultimate in terms of flexibility. The FlexLink is a more traditional solution, but it's very good for moving products a long distance, and also it's very good at taking product over elevation changes, which is not something that the MagnaMotion is capable of. Just grab a can now. So what you'll notice is Steve took the can off. The sensor will notice that it's faulty, so it moved from the MagnaMotion system onto the FlexLink system. Sensor goes to our controller goes to Vuforia, which is a PTC technology, generates a dynamic work instruction. I put the can in, I do rework complete, and the carriage then re-enters off the FlexLink back into the MagnaMotion.
Cheaper logistics solutions could also be what you are looking for if you want to optimize your processes and give them a touch of Industry 4.0 at a low cost. This is an AGV, the kind that's used in warehouses to convey goods. It is equipped with software and a scanner that map its environment and allow it to move safely. But this AGV also has another use.
This is the base of the vehicle, and you can mount everything on the base. So in this case, you can find a conveyor. You can connect every AGV together to have a fleet. Here you see just one AGV, but there is the software to support a fleet, several AGV, and to govern every AGV moving in the plant. You want to have a logistic solution to move materials inside the plant, and you can have these kind of things moving, because these are lower cost, and then you can manage a plant. For example, now I have to move in this way. tomorrow maybe I have to move in this way. With this solution is really dynamic.
The keyword here is flexibility, and this is one of Industry 4.0's major promises. The ability to deploy your production lines where you need them is now accessible to a wide range of industries.